all you need to know. The Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Brought to you by LIC.
Good morning to everyone. It is the start of a brand new week and I am Hormus Fatakia, here to tell you all that you need to know on the 15th of February. First up, the Finance Ministry will infuse 3,000 crore rupees into state-run general insurance companies in order to improve their financial health. The infusion will be done after the supplementary demand for grants is passed by the Parliament, which will reconvene on the 8th of March. Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa said on Saturday that Tesla will be setting up its manufacturing unit in Karnataka. The EV maker has registered Tesla Motors and Energy Private Limited with the Registrar of Companies in Bangalore. If you are a vehicle owner and have not adopted FASTag yet, today may just be the last day. Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari said that the February 15 deadline for vehicle owners to adopt to this e-payment facility will not be extended any further. The deadline was earlier extended to the 15th of February from the 1st of January. On to macro updates, India's retail inflation touched a 16-month low as vegetable prices continued to fall. Consumer price index-based inflation stood at 4.06% in January 2021 as compared to 4.59% in December. A Bloomberg poll of economists had pegged the figure at 4.4%. However, industrial production for November contracted 1.9%, its first such contraction in 3 months. 13 out of the 23 manufacturing industry groups saw a contraction in output for the month of November. In some global updates, Japan's GDP grew 12.7% in the December quarter, courtesy higher exports and higher government stimulus. For the pandemic year, the economy saw a contraction of 4.8%. Elsewhere, Auckland in New Zealand has gone into a 3-day lockdown after 3 new COVID-19 cases were reported in the country. Authorities say that the cases were part of the new UK strain of the virus. Back home in India, active cases have been on the rise for 2 straight days now. Over 80 lakh healthcare and frontline workers have now been vaccinated as per the Health Ministry updates. And Bitcoin inched closer to the $50,000 mark on Sunday, hitting an intraday high of 49,600 before paring some of the gains. The cryptocurrency is currently trading at $48,800. Some result updates now. ONGC's net profit and operational performance were below street expectations, while realizations fell 24% over the previous year. The board has approved the acquisition of a 5% stake in Indian Gas Exchange as a strategic investment. Havells India plans to set up a new facility to manufacture washing machines in Rajasthan at an estimated investment of 65 crore rupees. It also plans to set up a new facility in Andhra Pradesh to manufacture air conditioners with an estimated investment of 250 crore rupees. The company intends to bring this new capacity on stream within the next 12 to 18 months, and funding will be done through internal accruals and term loans. Amara Raja Batteries is also planning to set up a 50 megawatt solar power plant in Andhra Pradesh for a total outlay of 220 crore rupees. It will also be setting up a greenfield lead recycling unit which will have a capacity of 1 lakh tons. The capex for this facility will be 280 crore rupees, which will be spent over the next 18 months. Vodafone Idea's losses narrowed in the December quarter, while ARPU saw a marginal rise to 121 rupees from 119 rupees last quarter. While there is no clarity on the proposed fundraising yet, the company said that it is in active discussions with potential investors. Foreign fund flows continue to pour into Indian equities. Depositories data showed that FPIs have pumped in over 22,000 crore rupees in the Indian market so far for the month of February. Experts attributed the flows to the positive sentiment post the union budget. Both Sensex and the Nifty have already gained 11% for this month. Speaking of the markets, it's now over to Neeraj Shah for the trade setup of the day. Morning Neeraj, we have consolidated now for most of last week. What key triggers should we anticipate in the week ahead?
Thanks, Hormus, for that. Well, the global markets are certainly benign, with the US markets having ended well on Friday, and some of the Asian markets that have started trading, except for China, actually everything is on, have started off really well. About 1.5% for the Kospi, Nikkei, almost equivalent gains the last time I checked. So the global mood seems to be benign. Now, this week will be dominated by chatter around the stimulus and consequently on yields and rates. In the past week, remember the 10-year yield in the US, which is a key benchmark that everybody follows, touched the 1.2% mark for the first time since March. It reached that level briefly early in the week and returned to it in the final hour of trading Friday. So that would be a dominant theme for people looking at some signs of cautiousness. Yields are rising on optimism for the improving economy, but also for inflation expectations moving higher as the talk of the stimulus now reaches more than 1.5 trillion. Some people anticipating 1.9, and the movement around that dominating chatter. Having said that, Indian markets could also be at the mercy of the global markets. Last week's price action is concerned, it can be construed as a breather after the budget week's marathon rally. Although bears tried to take charge on a couple of times, as you would remember we spoke about, all attempts have been proven to be unsuccessful. So despite having some fatigue around the highs, the market is not willing to surrender at all, and it will be probably believed to be in a consolidation mode. The key would be to try and see what themes participate, if at all, and auto ancillaries and pharma look the best place. But I personally think that individual stock positioning is probably the order of the day as opposed to sectoral trends. Well, let's see how it shapes up. Wishing you all a great week ahead, and thanks for tuning in.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.
Brought to you by LIC.